All right. So now for Ethereum technical analysis, right? It's July 23rd, 2025. All right. So right now we're sitting at 3,627. And I think Ethereum, if I were to guess just by looking at the charts, I think we could easily go back to 3K. I know that sounds crazy right now. Everyone's saying, no, man, we're going to like 4,500. What are you talking about? And I know a lot of people want to say that, but most people are just way too overhyped right now. So this, from what I see, you can draw a trend line, right? It's a trend. You can see it's hitting all these points. It's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. So let's draw it like that, because I can already see it's like a triangle type of pattern forming. All right, so boom, get all those hits. You see that? So now you can connect these two. All right, you see that connection? All right, so some people would say, oh, this is a bullish pennant. Which a bullish pennant, what you do is you take from the top of that triangle, you go all the way down to the bottom of the start of that run, right? And then you take that and you measure approximately where the breakout is going to happen. And that's from about right there. Let's just say it happens, yeah, by September or whatever. That takes us to $222,000. That's crazy. That's that's never going to happen. I'm sorry. Maybe in 30 years, but that'll be like 100 trillion market cap of Ethereum, which it's just not happening. So I don't think that that's gonna play out, at least not in the short term. Maybe even in 5-10 years, I don't know, maybe, but definitely not in the next year or two. I don't think this pattern is actually a bullish pennant. I think it's more so of an ascending triangle. Ascending triangle is very similar than a bullish pennant, right? It goes like this. The reason why it's called an ascending triangle is because it's flat on top, and on the bottom, that's where it rises, right? It's ascending. So the way you draw that breakout is basically from the start of that triangle, right? The first bottom hit to the first top hit. So usually it looks something like that. And we see on this chart, it's the same thing, right? You see it right there. Draw it till about there, right? We're not trying to get it perfect, but we're trying to get it pretty good. And obviously, the more you zoom in and you go on the smaller time frames, like the daily 4 hour, you can get a better time, right? Or you can get a better measurement. But we're just approximating right now. So the breakout would be like 28,000. That's crazy. That's never going to happen within the next 2 years unless a big miracle happens to where everyone's investing in like crypto instead of gold or something like that. But that's just crazy. What I personally think, if it does break out of here, it's going to fly. But I think we could hit maybe 6,000-7,000 this cycle if everything kind of goes according to plan in terms of nothing really super bad happens. But we could even hit maybe 10K. A lot of people have been talking about 10K. So sometimes it's not just all about charting. Sometimes it's about what the price of people are expecting, right? Let's go on to the smaller time frames so we can get a little bit more of a short-term prediction, because that was just super long-term. So on the hourly, let's see what's going on. Yeah, on the hourly, as you can see, it's a, like I explained with the Bitcoin, right? Whenever you see a rounding top, that's not a good sign. Like, definitely not a good sign. There's no concrete pattern that can be like, yeah, it's this one. Kind of look like head and shoulders, but not really. I can't really tell anything from this. Now, from the 4 hourly, maybe you can say a little head and shoulders is forming, because what it could be doing is, right, shoulder, a head, and then there's going to be another shoulder, and then we're going to drop. I think 3,300 is very attainable. No cap. No captivity. So like, look, head and shoulders, you draw it like that. Boom. The reason why I already drew it basically perfect is that I kind of already remember. Like you, after a while, you memorize all these patterns, right? You see that? You see that? So it'll go probably around 3,300, which is very doable. I think that's what's gonna happen. And one last thing about Ethereum before we go. All right. The reason why I think that was kind of the top of crypto, I could kind of tell because look, it's at the top. You want to kind of sell at the top and buy at the bottom. So this is a no-brainer. Like for whoever bought here, it was a no-brainer, bro. You could have bought like 2-3 months ago, bro. Look, 1,400, and you'd be up. Oh my, yo! I didn't know it went up that much. Holy, bro. No. Oh my god, 175%. That's insane, bro. Imagine, like, let's say you put $1 million, you would have 2.75 million. That's crazy. 100K would turn into 275,000. That's crazy. 10,000 would turn into 27,005. Bro, that's crazy. Easy money, bro. Crypto is so predictable. Anyways, I'm done with this. TA, I think you guys get the point. I think as long as Bitcoin kind of hovers, I think it's going to fall soon. Anyways, that's it for Ethereum.